Now let's get into the tens. You guys are there. You guys are at the function. You guys are coming out for your tens. What is in your mind?
So in this moment for me, I was feeding off of Meah. And it's funny because initially we were going to do something together when we got to the panel, and she was going to like touch my face. We were going to sell it and kind of like kiss each other. But baby, when Meah hit that floor, Meah just woke up. So I just was being the gentleman and just let Meah do her thing.
Mia, what were you going through, girl?
I was just, prior, excuse me, prior to that, like I said, Jason had already had me feeling like I was just the girl, honey.
Yeah.
Just, baby, I was ready, baby. I was just looking right, catch right here, look, right here. I'm like, girl, please. Jason's like, Meah, Meah, Meah. And I'm like, what? Oh, okay, girl, what's up?
Yes. Yes. And
So you see,
honestly,
I was like in my own zone at that point, and Jason was just kind of tame.
yeah,
He
you
was
you
just
know
being the
what? You know
gentleman.
what? I think you were very tame right here, Jason. And I wanna
Hmm.
and I want the moment. You get it, Miss Mia. Get it. What? All of that. Oh, she was feeling it, darling. I like all that femme queenery. So mind you, so when you guys are walking, is it really truly like a blank out moment?
Yes.
Do you guys remember what is happening at that point? Like
No.
let the audience know, people that do not walk balls, that want the mindset of a ball walker. What is going through your head? Like, do you even recognize what's going on?
I left the building by the time we got in the building. I was gone. I wasn't even there. Like, and
Right.
it happened so fast that I was kind of like,
Yes,
even at the
yes.
end, once they said grand prize, if you notice, I had my hand up for a second because
Oh
I
yeah,
had to
we're gonna get
regroup.
there.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get to all the battles. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
all the battles and all the things. So, what was going through your head, Mia?
So through my head, it
Mentally.
was just I was ready, baby. But you do kind of like just black out, baby. You just see red, honey. You be ready for battle zone. Like it's just we're here. We're gonna do what we gotta do, and yeah, I mean, you do kind of blank out.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yes.
do. You kind of blank out.
So
Like
now,
I didn't even know I did all that. I didn't even know Jason was like Meah, Meah, like screaming my name, and I had to turn around until James told me. James, the overall father was like, "Oh, I love that moment. That was so ballroom." And I was like, "What moment?" And he was like, "When Jason was calling you, and you turned back and you were like, oh, boom, ballroom." And I was like, "I didn't even notice we did that, you know." But it
yeah,
to watch that and someone to point it out and like, wow, okay.
this was the category. Grand prize, Mr. and Mrs. Freeze, tag team face, one butch queen, one femme queen, Stone Cold Carter, assassin, 25K hit the runway in complementing winter white effects that give the judges chills. In each battle, you must tag the face that you feel is worthy of assassin. After each annihilation, a face card will be bestowed to you. The last one standing who holds the most face cards will be awarded 15K and their partner 10K. Pick your pick your partner wisely whose face cards never declines. No productions. Each individual who walks must have already been an active participant in the ballroom for at least a year. There was a lot of talk about this category specifically, right?
Hmm.
Right.
We're gonna get into the battles, but let's talk about the category since this is what you guys are walking for. What did you guys think about the category and the way that it was stated on the flyer?
So at first, I didn't realize that we would be battling individually.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of like, huh? But how was the team face?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then what I also liked is, a lot of times when you're walking these balls, people get to stand to the side or they get to hide in the back and they don't battle as many people as other folks did. So people that walk didn't pay attention. You needed the most face cards. So
Mm-hmm.
that means you had to battle. And if you're one of those people that don't want to just stand to the side and be all shy and timid, you are not going to do well in this category. So
Mm-hmm.
that even goes back to me and me as aesthetic as who we are naturally. We're battle cats. We don't mind battling anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We're not afraid of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of us together, like walking into that, like I told y'all earlier, in my head, it was like, we got this. I ain't even worried.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He did. He said that.
Yeah. Okay.
He
And then
said
what?
all of this.
And then, so Meah, when you read the category, see, the thing about it is, I'm going to ask this question a lot of people that were asking as well.
Right.
When the line of the last person standing, now we're going to watch the battles. Now, with Jacen being sat by Giselle, do you think that was fair for you to come back and battle her again and then ultimately winning the money, Jacen?
The category said the person with the most face cards that never
Mm-hmm.
declined being the last person standing.
Mm-hmm.
So when Giselle had one over me, that was her second face card. I still had three.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still had the most face cards. Because honestly speaking, in that moment, once I had won over Whitney, I wasn't thinking about Giselle. I wanted Stasha because she tried it. So in my head, I was like, where's Stasha? But before I could regroup, Giselle was right there. So it was
Not
like, oh,
you wanted, you wanted mine. Okay, I know that's right. I know
yeah,
that's
let's go. Yeah,
okay.
let's
Well,
go.
yeah. So you had three face cards. Giselle had two face cards. You're absolutely right about the last person. See, the thing about it is everyone's so hung up on the last person standing part. You
Hmm.
know,
Right.
and so
Right.
with that situation, would you have this category at your ball if worded the same way, or would you change it up for less confusion?
No, I will leave it the same way.
You will leave
I
it the
think that
same way?
I think that what this did was again it alleviated people standing to the back.
I
Like
agree with
you
that.
had to battle, like you
I agree
had
with
to
that.
get
Even
mixed
though
up.
they still did, though.
Even though they still did. They still
They
Yeah.
did
did.
stand to the back, honestly, because when it first started, I think there were only two couples or four, I think,
Yeah.
standing in front. And it was me, Jason, Giselle, Exotic, I think Sade, and
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 Sade was on
Jaden.
the floor, but Jaden was in the back.
but
Jaden.
Lola and Whitney were in the back. They did
Mm-hmm.
not come back out.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the back, and somebody else was in the back, I think. I don't know who else. But
Okay.
yeah.
And whatchamacallit, Chanel. What's her name?
Yes.
Janelle,
I
Janelle.
Janelle and
think they were
Haley,
right by us.
they were
But
right by
one
us.
thing I
Yeah.
must say is in the tens, like in the battles,
Oh, we're
I
gonna get
never
into
got
we're gonna get
okay,
into we're
okay.
gonna get into the battles. I wanted to talk about the category and the way that it was worded, because that was what the main thing people were just so obsessed with talking about, especially
Yeah.
for you, Jason, with that category, was because that verbiage of the last person standing and the one with the most face cards. So it was kind of like, I see your point, but my thing, to me personally, I would probably word it, the verbiage, differently for less confusion.
Hmm.
I would switch out or not even include the last person standing part. The person with the most face cards at the end of the battles goes at it. Period. The top two people with the most face cards. I would, because then it leaves open for someone to say, well, this other person, like example, Giselle sat you before you guys battled for the last time. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, the category does say the person with the most face cards gets to go, but how does that even happen when she literally just sat you? So I'm like, okay, well, but then again, you literally had the most face cards. So it was kind of
But
like,
that makes more sense because there were two panels. So there was a panel above and then there was a
uh-huh,
panel on the bottom. So
right.
Giselle had beat a lot of people were beating certain people with the panel on the bottom. And
Mm,
then a lot of people were beating certain people with the panel on the top. That's just how
mm.
the whole night went.
Yeah.
The
So,
yeah.
and a lot of people in the beginning did not understand that there were two
Yeah.
panels, one up, one down, and that
And
just
they were
how,
voting separately. They were
yeah.
not voting together. So it wasn't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it was just this panel. Once it got to the seventh judge or eighth, that's it.
Hmm.
You're done.
And then also another thing is, people need to realize you can't give yourself votes. The judges give you guys is the votes. So why are people so upset at you? Why are people so mad
I'm gonna
that
tell
you
you.
got these votes?
I'm gonna tell you what a lot of it is, and I'm gonna just be honest.
Mhm.
Giselle is the it girl, right?
Mhm.
Giselle's beautiful.
Mhm.
Love Giselle. Out of this era of Femme Queen Face, she's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Um, when you look at a boy battling a girl,
Mhm.
or a man battling a woman, excuse me, because she's not a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's certain distinct features that I feel like a girl will always get a boy.
Mm-hmm.
But even in this moment, I brought something out of Giselle that a lot of her femme queen counterparts were not able to do.
Speak on it.
Because I think that Giselle has always battled girls that have not been able to meet her at her level. So she can kind of like, little girl them.
It was a
And
shakeup. It was
it
a
was a
shakeup.
shakeup. It was a shakeup.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's interesting because even in that moment, it was kind of like, "Yeah, but you over, but you don't ever want it.
Yeah.
Ever."
Yeah,
And
and it's not like you guys were saying that you guys that you're better than the girl, or
right,
you're
right,
better than
right,
her, she's better than you. It's just the fact
right,
about
Yeah.
you guys is just, you're in that mode. It's
right.
the mode that you guys are in. It's the elevation of, you're in your ballroom essence.
And then even when it comes to face overall, all three of us on here, we know that yes, it's about skin, teeth, structure, smile, nose, presentation,
Talk
hair, all
about it.
those things.
Talk about
But
it.
it's also about the cell.
Talk about it.
It's about what kept the captivating. The category said we wanted you to annihilate, not play. I didn't come to play. I came to slay. I didn't come to play.
When I tell
What?
you, it is the God honest truth, and it is the truth. Like, and I always said this, and even from the Milan Ball, PLCC, Rags to Riches, Jacen, like I've always said this, y'all don't understand. Yes, you guys might say this and that about Jacen, but Jacen will sell the shoes off of your feet. You do not understand. That is a big portion of what ballroom is. It's your presentation. And what Jacen gives you is truly like a masterclass of how you sell your faith. Every generation, you're going to have someone that is the example of that. And
Love that.
Jacen, you are that example of that for your generation, and to show the new kids of the crop today now. So it was a blessing to see on the runway how to do that. And yeah, so bravo to you with that, Jacen. It's the truth. You're
And
so right.
thank you. And I also want to say that um, it was very important for this generation to see a Clash of the Titans.
It was.
And I think that too many times you don't get a chance to see all those big dogs on the floor at the same time. So
Mm,
to
Yeah.
see Lola just come off of a 10K win, to see
mm,
Whitney back on the floor, to
mm,
see Meah in her new
mm.
regards, to see me back on the floor, to see new talent like Josea team up with Stasha and
Yeah.
Janelle Chanel, who's my blood cousin, walk with Christopher Haven. So you seen Sade and Jake. It was like so much of the clash of the Titans that at the end of the day, all of us that was on that floor were so secure in ourselves
Mm.
that it didn't matter how it went.
Mm-hmm.
It was anybody's night. It could have went a lot of different ways, but it didn't. It went the
Right.
way that God ordained it for it to go.
Who ordained it?
God.
Who?
God.
That's right.
G-O-D.
God.
God.
You down
It's
with
the,
G-O-D? Yeah, you know.
you know me.
You down with G-O-D? Everybody.
Okay, right. I know that's right. Okay. So, any last things that you want to add on to the category and the way it was phrased and what people have to say about
I
everything?
I just wish they stopped these narratives that like Caesar set it up for me. Like,
Mm,
number
mm-hmm,
one, let's also be very clear. Caesar didn't even know that I was walking until a week before.
mm-hmm,
He had no idea that I was walking. He didn't. When I told him that I was walking, he was like, "What? You're walking?
mm,
What are you talking about?
We
Like,
were not
how are you gonna
supposed to
get
be
ready?"
judging.
We were supposed to be judging.
I got
mm,
Both
asked
of
to
us.
judge.
Both of us
mm.
were supposed to be judging.
Yeah. So for any words that you would like to say to the critics out there, and even, let's just be honest and be real, even some of your brothers and sisters out there that had
You
some
know,
things to say about you, because the stuff that I was reading kind of threw me a little bit because I didn't expect it
it
to
it it
come on a
it threw
platform like
me.
this.
It threw me
Wait,
for a
like
loop
who?
too.
Who were the brothers and sisters?
It don't matter. I'm not
Mm,
gonna give them
yeah,
bitches anymore.
we're not, yeah.
I ain't giving them
Mm-mm.
no fame.
Was it my brothers and sisters?
No, it was. They weren't really even attacking you. They were getting me. Um,
Yeah.
but here's my thing.
Okay.
A lot of people that have so much to say don't even have enough dick and balls to even walk a ball, or they're too washed to even hit the floor. or
Mm.
their back teeth are missing,
Oh.
or their skin is bumpy, or
Oh.
like again. And I also want to also say that this was a very hard pill for me to swallow because a lot of people was like, "Oh, Jacen, pay it. Don't say anything. Don't say anything." Um, but I think people forgot my mouth is a trash can.
Baby.
Like,
A
Girl.
girl, a
terrible.
reincarnation of Tony Milan. Y'all get
This mouth
y'all.
is
Oh,
terrible. So
rest in peace, Tony.
rest in
Oh,
Rest
peace.
in peace. I
I can
love
read.
you.
I can
I
read with
know. We
the
love you,
best of them, but for
Tony.
me, it wasn't even about them, and I won't even allow any of them to make this about them. Like, you mad? The money's already given to me. It's already in our bank accounts. I smoked the TV. Like,
Yeah.
what you want me to do?
That's right. And period on that one. And Miss Mia, what do you have to say to all the naysayers, all the people that had anything to say about your guys' team in general?
I mean, at the end of the day, when it's me and Jason, you always gonna get a package, honey. We're gonna give you package. We're gonna give you ballroom.
Mm.
Nothing else. Ballroom. And that's what we were. I felt like we brought ballroom as far as my packaging, his packaging, my attitude coming out, his attitude, especially on every like amazing battle that he did, whether he lost and came back and won. However, I mean, it was ballroom.
Yeah.
So I mean, I loved every minute of it. And whoever didn't, that's their opinion, y'all. Just
And can I say
don't come
one
at
more?
me. Don't come at me. Don't come at me with no crazy shit though. Don't say that shit to my face though.
They ain't gonna say this. They ain't gonna say this to me. I also want to say that people have to understand that in ballroom, you have a lot of different seasons. Some of us
Mm.
go through seasons of losing, and
Mhm.
in order to be a winner, you have to be a good loser
Mm.
because
Yeah.
when you finally do win, you win big.
Big
So
ones.
Mhm.
Hmm.
don't get so caught up in the moment that you didn't win. I know, like now we're in this era where there's all these big grand prize cash categories attached to stuff, but we were battling down for a trophy with bragging rights. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
times,
A trophy,
a
literally.
trophy, literally. And
Literally.
I can
Literally
speak.
a trophy.
I can speak to this. There was time that the three of us walked and we won and we shouldn't have,
Oh,
and there was time that
absolutely.
we lost.
Yes.
There was time that we lost and we shouldn't have
We
lost.
shouldn't
So
A-
have.
it's just it's the nature of
absolutely.
the beast. It's the nature of the beast. It just happens.
Oh, baby. Yes, I know.
It
Yeah.
happens. It is
For
ballroom.
sure. For sure. And
And it
oh,
still happens. It
It
still
still
happens.
happens.
and it's still gonna happen because what? It is what? Ballroom, darling.
Ballroom.
Ballroom. Like
That's
you're I
it.
mean, it's just yeah.
A question I really wanted to ask you, specifically, Jason, was this because I think it's important to ask this for future ballroom walkers, butch queens and femme queens, and whoever else that wants to walk. How do you manage all of this negativity? How do you coast through all that to keep your peace, your sanity on the right track to not let it bug you as much as it does?
Mhm.
Ballroom is a fantasy.
Hmm.
It's our sense of Hollywood. It's our sense of fake whatever, right? And I've always said this. A panel of people cannot measure how handsome or beautiful or sexy or attractive I am because
Yeah.
the only person that can validate that is the mirror,
Hmm.
me.
Mm.
That's it. So
Hmm.
I never worry about what anybody says about any of those things. And it was funny because my sister, now my little sister, was reading comments, and she was like, I don't like this stuff that they're saying because they make it seem like you're ugly. Like you ain't ugly.
Hmm.
You look better than all them other boys that was out there walking. I was like, oh, thank you, sis. But like,
Hmm.
I get it. I get it because I come from this community and I
Hmm.
know how
Hmm.
different people are elevated to a certain level of beauty standard that might
Yeah.
not be the standard, and when someone challenges the standard, it's a problem. So
Yes.
all through my life in ballroom, there have been things that have been said, but I am Teflon build. That child, please,
Right. So
please.
your advice to those future walkers, because every generation there is going to be someone like you.
Hmm.
There is going to be someone like you, and there's someone that's going to go through that same experience. So your advice to them would be what?
Keep going, keep going, keep giving it your all. Step on their necks. Never allow someone else's opinion of you to be your organic truth, because
Mm,
it's not your truth. You can't worry about that at
mm,
all. And guess what? If they don't see it, make them see it.
that's right. And Miss Meah,
How can you not see somebody that's standing right in front of your face? What are you talking about?
Right.
okay, I know that's right. And Miss Meah, your advice to future femme queens and even some future butch queens that are going to experience walking balls and not get the accolades they feel like they deserved or should deserve.
Well, I think in my experience now, having walked both,
Hmm, hmm,
it's been a little like it's been a lot. It's been a lot
mm,
mentally. Like how to
mm,
program things, how to go about things. Like as a butch queen, you can be a little more aggressive and more. You know, I don't know. It's just a different energy. And so I
mm.
would say that for those, just come be you and don't take anything so to the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like Jacen said, there's a panel of people. They're gonna choose what they want. You're not gonna always win, but you will win. You're not gonna, you know what I mean? So your win will come when it's supposed to come, and just keep going.
That's right. Was it hard for you? Like, was it hard? Was it mentally? Like, what was your mindset with coming back and being
Uh,
Meah and walking?
it was very hard for me. It was very hard for me to come back. It took me like almost 5 years to come back,
Mm,
basically, like 4.5, 5 years almost. It was very hard. I had a lot of personal things happen to me with certain people that I was close to, hurt me really bad. People just weren't really on my side, and I kind of stood away. I just didn't want to like kind of like revisit that, but something in me kept telling me like, Meah, you got to come back. You owe it to the community. Like you did so much for this culture, so much for this community, and there's so many people that looked up to me before and still did. People that were still finding me and still like would see me and figure out that it was me in the streets. And I would be like, yeah, me. And they were like, oh my God, we love you. And I'm just like, okay, like, cool, I love you too.
right.
And this was like before me even coming back into the scene. So I'm just like, wow, like people still know me or remember me or who I was. And so I was just like, I owe it to the ballroom scene. I owe it to myself. This was my home. It still is my home. And so I got to come back and kind of like, just come back for for fun. And this is what it is this time around. I became an icon, and I'm a parent in a house and a really big house, a rock stocking house right now in the scene.
Hmm.
And my house is so loving to me and so supportive. And my kids, these kids really look up to me and they're so inspired by me. And so it's and so many other kids in other houses. Like I've been around so many kids in the scene and from other homes and just like wow, this is like really impactful. That is so many other kids that are like inspired by me,
Mm,
and so it was important that I did come back. I'm so happy that I did come back and I was able to just come back and be me. And now I'm enjoying and having fun. Win, lose, or draw. Aside of that, I'm having fun on the runway. I'm enjoying the new relationships and bonds that I'm building with people. And yeah, it's been
yeah.
amazing.
No, that's amazing. And Meah, I personally want to say thank you for coming back,
Mhm.
being the strong individual that you are. And you're beautiful. And it's so magnificent to see you grace the stage again and you being in your true self and how magical that looks because you look beautiful. And
Yes.
I love to see you out there. And I just personally wanted to tell you that because it's amazing to see. And I'm so happy that you're doing this again.
Thank you.
You're welcome, babe. You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much, Nadia. Thank you.
Have a good night, Jaden. Good night.
But we're looking at the battles. Y'all see it.
Even though it was Whitney, all right, see you later.
Like, she's an ugly. I don't deserve this.
And I know Whitney has to be in his 50s. He's older than me, obviously, but it's like
But of anyone's packaging, I don't think no one's packaging was on my line. Sorry.
after that battle, though I came for the coin, nothing else mattered to me.
So between us, I didn't even tell this person that. This person doesn't even know. So maybe when this person watches this interview, they'll know.